Hi guys! I have not done a video since March, but it was actually a lovely friend I've met through one of the groups on Facebook, who has inspired me to do one because she said, I haven't heard from you in a while. You probably haven't heard from me in a while because I've just felt a bit crap and I feel like I'm getting nowhere. I know in my last video I mentioned that I've got this drop foot and I'm really struggling with that. So I was referred to an orthopaedic hospital and they gave me this ankle brace and they fitted me for an orthotic, for which I'm still waiting 6 weeks later. The ankle brace arrived and I was using it every day and it was great at lifting the foot, but my big toe has dropped down like that. And it was making the toe drop further and further down. So I stopped using it immediately. I emailed them and they were like, oh, we could fit you with a splint. And I'm like, well, if the brace has done the same, if the brace has done what it's done, a splint would do more. I want this thing called FESS, which is like electrical stimulation. So it's basically electric shocks almost to the foot. And then she tells me, NHS don't do it, you can only get it privately. So that's where I am now. I have had a month of ordering thousands and thousands of shoes that I can wear in the summer weather that support me enough, support my ankles, that I can walk in. It's been just a nightmare. It sounds ridiculous, but it's kind of ruined the last month because in this heat, I don't want to be going around wearing trainers. So eventually I found some shoes. I've had a little bit of physio separately. I was going to the MS Centre for physio, and then hospital transport let me down, and then I couldn't make it one week. And to be honest, it is such a long day. Although I'm so grateful for hospital transport, you have to wait 2 hours before you're picked up. They then take you 40 minutes for a drive to the place, and then you have to wait for transport after your appointment. And even that in itself takes it out of you. So I saw my daughter's games teacher actually, who is a sports physio, really knows her stuff, gave me exercises to do. I was on it and now I've like slacked. I had an endoscopy 10 days ago, which has showed that I had stomach polyps. I actually watched the whole thing because sedation didn't work. So they're going to keep an eye on that. So basically inflammation in my stomach. I then had a CT scan with contrast dye to see what's going on down there, because I've had major problems with, I won't call it reflux, but it could be. But when I looked further into it, it's actually, when you take all these lansoprazole and meprozoles, they reduce the gastric juices in your stomach. So therefore, it's kind of like dry and they get inflamed. So I've stopped taking all of those under my own choice. I didn't consult a doctor because I'm just fed up. I was due to see my neurologist this week. That's been cancelled till October, which really doesn't help me because I really wanted to chat with him and I wanted to know what my scan showed. I wanted to talk about whether I'm going to take, I'll have another infusion of the Ocrevus, which they did offer to me this month, and I said no because it's the summer and my sister's wedding is the end of August, and it made me feel so rubbish last time for 2 months that I wasn't prepared just to do that. So he said that was fine last time, and to wait till September, have bloods. It does depend on my bloods anyway. If my bloods aren't right, they're not going to give you such a strong infusion. But I'm also seriously thinking about stem cell transplant. It has been on my mind since I met someone who'd had it. In the waiting room before going to see my professor. I've thought about it more and more. And slowly I'm making that decision as I find days that are so hard and I struggle so much. This week I've really struggled to walk and I'm like, done. I think the other night I literally threw a tantrum, sat on the floor, screamed, I'm done, I've had enough of this, I don't want to do this anymore. I know it's not as easy as that. I have cut down on one of the pills that I told him I'd got a lot of rigidity and my legs were really rigid and hard and it was hard to walk. And he suggested cutting down on one of my pills to help, and it has helped. It's just not quite enough. I just almost need a personal trainer here the whole time pushing me because I feel really that I haven't got that energy to push myself. However, I woke up this morning, my legs are stiff, did a little bit of stretching. I did a minute on the bike, which is great for me because I was doing 10 minutes a day at one point and then I felt crap and I stopped. So I've done the bike, I've done from my sit to standing, like hip thrusts to get the glutes going. I really need to go to a swimming pool and be walking in a pool. So maybe I should try and join a gym just for that. I really feel like I need my family push it. Well, I know it's so hard. My husband does everything, but I need people pushing me the whole time. We did talk about me driving in September, which I've just got my heart set on. You know, my double vision's gone now. I'd get assessed, I'd get a Motability car, and now from Mark saying yes, he's like, we'll see. I know what his we'll see means. I think he's just worried about my spatial awareness and my concentration because obviously that's rubbish. But I think when I'm in a car and I'll be focusing on something, I think it'll be fine. I'll have as many lessons as he needs me to have. I just need that independence to be able to pop down to the shops or maybe pop to a gym where I can go in the swimming pool and do my own walking up and down. And I know what I need to do. It's just doing it. So I'm struggling a bit. This week's been really hard and maybe it's just been a particularly bad week. But you know what? I'm really, really fed up of the bad weeks. And I know you all do too. And I know that we all have our own problems. And the worst thing with MS, vasculitis, I don't even know what. You can have a new symptom without having a relapse. And that's really hard to get your head around. So like the double vision went, the foot drop started. And you're like, what? I just don't understand how this works. So, but it's exhausting. I'm exhausted with it. And if stem cell transplant actually halts it and stops it and gives me back a life that I used to have, then why wouldn't I? Although there's always a risk with these things. So I think after the summer, when we know what we're doing, after I've spoken to the neurologist, I might just get the ball rolling for that. I've been thinking about it a lot. It's not just something I thought, oh yeah, let's do this today. I'm on a lot of groups. I know there are dedicated places for it around the world. And I know it's a tough, grueling, probably 18 months. I mean, it's a real serious thing to do, but I kind of want to give myself the best chance I have at anything, because I feel like now I'm just a pain in the arse for everyone. And even myself, it's so boring. It's just, it's just annoying. So I need to get this plan in action. I need to do more physio to get a bit stronger. I'm now on Ensure protein drinks prescribed by the doctor, which I try and have at least one a day. I need to build, obviously, muscle up where I've lost so much. And obviously the NHS are in a mess, so it makes it really hard with any appointments. Oh my God, I know so many people whose appointments, everything has been cancelled, and not everyone's lucky enough to go and see a doctor privately or have an MRI privately or whatever it is. It was really good. I've had such good service. I had an MRI fairly quickly. The day I spoke to my gastroenterologist, I can't speak today, my gastric guy, that afternoon they called me to book me in for my endoscopy. So NHS is still working so hard. It's just that sometimes when it's those bigger things, your scan results, this, that, you're not getting access to them so easily. And that's hard. So yeah, I've started on a new day. However tired I was, I went on the bike for a minute. I did a few squats, standing, or whatever you want to call them. And I think I just need to put reminders and notifications and alarms in my diary for me to do them, which isn't always easy. I work, I've got the kids, which obviously my husband does so much for, but I want that responsibility back a little bit. It's always such a drug. I can't spit. I'm really finding it hard actually to speak at the moment and tell a story with people, and can't get my words out properly, and I've really noticed it. And that's another thing that's pissing me off, because I know that I'm struggling to say it when I want to say it. And it could just be when I'm really tired of an evening, or even in the day I'm not reading messages properly. My head's not in it. So I need to get in it. So today is a new day. I'm going to get in it. I'm going to get in the zone. I'm going to sort my fitness out so that I can be better all round. So that is where I'm up to. It's a bit higgledy-piggledy. It's not so different from last time, but sometimes I feel it's worse. I'm still walking with the stick. I can't, get rid of that. The other day I needed 2 sticks really, because that's how bad it was. But you got to just also find that balance. So that is my update. I'm sorry it's long, but that's what happens when you don't actually post a video in 3 months. And I really hope everyone's doing okay. and we're all there for each other, especially in this neurological kind of community. There are so many overlapping illnesses that mimic each other, that seem very similar to each other, and you know, none of them are the same. Everyone's different, but we are going to get there in the end, because I believe that you just got to carry on fighting through, even though, trust me, there are days I don't want to do it. If we're hanging together and we're there together, then it's going to make it great. So I really appreciate my message this morning. The other day from my friend, I don't know how you pronounce your name, whether it's Carolyn, but big shout out to you, because you gave me the motivation today to do this. So thank you, and sending lots of love, health and good vibes to everyone else, and I'll speak to you soon.